Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to show you how to design a standout services page using the Nexter theme to showcase your expertise. We're going to guide you on how to make a clear and compelling page to sell your services. We're going to demonstrate using the Nexter blocks to add icons, pricing tables, and other elements to make the page visually appealing, to emphasize clear and concise language, as a strong call to action for each single service. If you run any business, you'll definitely know the importance of professional communication. So, in order to do that, we already have a website, for example, but we want to have a separate page only to showcase our services. So how are we going to do that? This is assuming that you already have the Nexter theme installed as well as the blocks and extension. So let's start off here from our dashboard. If you aren't familiar with WordPress or Nexter or anything to do with making a website, we have a treasure trove of videos for you to check out and start from the basics, start from zero. Hopefully this video will be like a outline or a template for you to follow. And if you find it very easy, you can go ahead and check out Nexter for yourself. So let's go ahead and add a new page. And again, this is going to be our standout services page. All right, so we don't need to do anything special here. Let's go ahead and just give our page a title. Oops. Or you can just like name it our service just to keep things a bit simple. But since we're working with a lot of things here, let's just name it as that. Let's go ahead and start off with one of the most basic blocks. Let's go ahead and put a container over here, a flex box with just one. And let's go ahead and put in an advanced heading in that. Okay, let's change out. Let's choose our style here. Okay, let's stick with this and let's call this our services. And for the subheading, we can either just remove that or we can add something really dandy down here. And if you don't like how this looks like, we can go ahead and change up the style. So we can change the separator color, make it red if you wanted to, change the top and bottom height. Let's thin this down a little. For the title tag, we can change which title tag we have here. Alternatively, we can manually change the font here and the font color. So let's go with the subtitle and let's change the typography of this manually. Times New Roman, and let's change the font color to something else. Okay, and then when we go back up here to our container, let's go ahead and add a, we don't have to add an image, so let's go ahead and put a gradient on this. And let's go with something that contrasts with that. And that looks rather professional. Again, you can choose to use a single solid color, or you could use a gradient, or you can add an image. Okay. That's real simple. So let's go ahead and do something. Well, let's go ahead and publish this and see how this looks like. So far we have a container with some text on it. And how is that going to look like on our site? Okay, that seems kind of bare. So what we can do is, instead of doing that, right, we can go ahead and do something else, such as this. And let's add an advanced image, our services. Let's go ahead and put up something like that. Okay, seems a bit too small, but let's go ahead and replace this with a bit of a larger image if we can find one here in our library. Let's go with this one. And let's put in a paragraph. And you can see the difference between the default WordPress one is that it's the icon is black and it's a smaller icon, and the Nextra ones have a blue violet kind of icon on them. And you can see that we don't need a separate header for this. It already comes with a title that we can disable if you just want to have a paragraph down here. And let's go ahead and change the title to something else. So let's do this. Or maybe, okay. And then if we wanted to, we can go ahead and just change it to a different heading title tag. And then let's go ahead and change this to something else. Okay, paragraph, and paste this in. Okay, that's looking a bit better. Let's go ahead and go back to our flex property here, and let's center everything up. Okay, and now we can go ahead and add another container, and let's start to look at our other blocks over here. So let's go ahead and select this one, and then let's see if we can move this over here, or probably just keep it like that. And then let's see if we can change these, but I think these are locked, so let's unlock these. Unlock. And then let's replace this to put it over here. We can do that. There we go. Oh. There we go. Okay. Beautiful. Now we can add some text here. But first, let's go ahead and add a simple heading to this one. Let's go here. Oh, what did that happen? What happened there? Oh, we didn't put it in here. Heading. Let's go ahead and call this, okay, there we go. Our, and let's center this up. And let's add a block here, and let's search for circular interactive info. We'll design it from scratch. Okay, and then we'll put that over here. And you can see we have a whole bunch of other ones to look at here. And let's add several. Okay. And as an example, let's go ahead and toggle one. So we'll toggle a few. Let's go ahead and put here. And we can change the icon color, we can change the background color, we can change the icon itself. We can either have no icon, or add an image for that in particular. So there you go. And then if you click on here, our content is on the next one, right? So and then we can type that in there, and you can see it's changed, it's different. We can also change the color of our text and so on and so forth. So again, for this number 2, and we can rearrange these, right? If I wanted plumbing to be here, or whichever one would be the default one. And then for this one, we'd have to go down here. Structural. And for this one, let's go ahead and call this if that's spelled right. Okay. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and add another piece of paragraph over here. And let's change the heading. Oh, well, let's change this to paragraph, and then this one to title. And let's put this into here. And there you go. Let's name this as we have. And then we can change the paragraph again to this or something else. Let's just double this up. And that's starting to look a bit better. So what do we want to add next? We always want to add more features, specific services, or ways for our customers to be able to open up and read more about what it is. So far, if you can imagine, we have our services page here. It's like, okay, this is our services. There's some interesting visuals here, okay? A basic description of what our services are going to be. And then we have this circular interactive info, and you can see it changes each time we go between them, right? Again, we can change the color here depending on your needs and the icon as you've just seen, right? And we also have a description that goes more in depth to each one of the areas where or services where we can go. So that's one thing, but that's a bit lacking. What if we wanted to add pricing tables for our particular products or services, that is? So let's go ahead and add a container down here. Let's just make it a simple grid, or rather, okay, let's go ahead with go with this one. And let's add in, we can either have this, right? Which is going to be a pricing list. And there's some options for these, right? Depending on what we choose. Alternatively, we can also have a pricing table. So you can see the difference between this one and this one is that for this, the price comes after and the description comes in first. Alternatively, the pricing table gives us the price first, whatever our service is, and a list of features. So usually for a cleaner design, we want to go with this. And similarly, we can also have a call to action over here or a button. So we can show a button here and we can have the button say, read more, right? So if we wanted, well, let's say we're a potential client, potential customer that's going through our page here. We're going here and like, okay, yeah, this is what website assets does. These are the services they offer. And you can see here the prices for that in particular. So let's, for instance, let's add a title to this. Let's call this plumbing. Okay. And then we'll see the features here. And if we are interested into availing of this service, or if we're just curious about what the difference between this and electricals is, we can go ahead and click on more, and then we can add a link to that, which will take us to a different page or a blog post or whatever it is that you want to do with your plumbing services. Alternatively, rather than read more, you can say, and then you can link this to a form like Google Docs or like something external or a different page in your site where you will be able to arrange for plumbing services with your customers. So let's go ahead and add some more over here. Let's go ahead and design it from scratch. Here you go. And let's design from scratch. And there you go. And then we'll go ahead and change these up to and we can add buttons for each and every one, right? And they'll all look a bit different. um, just as an example. And so far, it's looking pretty good. Now, if you wanted to break everything up, right, you could always just go ahead and go to your containers and then add a style, add a background, like either an image or a gradient or background color, just to keep things a bit easier to read and to look at. So for this one, we might want to put something like a beige background color, just so you can see how different it is from everything else. Low key that you can see that you have transitioned into a completely different space. So before that, I think it would be nice if we added a heading here just to act as a separator. Um, okay. And let's go ahead and save this and take a look at how it looks like on the live site. Okay, and it looks really good so far. But not just with the pricing, we can also break this up by adding some more images of our services or a little gallery. So I'm not sure if we have a carousel on here on the free version. Let's see. But in absence of that, let's go ahead and search for slider and carousel. This is from a different block library. But in absence of that, let's go ahead and just put a container here, and let's make it be a flex box. And let's go ahead and add images over here, right? Image advanced, image advanced, image advanced, and image advanced. Okay, these didn't go into the boxes properly, so you'll just have to put them there. So let's go ahead and just add some images from our library, and that's how it's going to work. So we already have that there. We want a wider one, so let's go with a larger image. Select, and then we'll go with a smaller image over here. Right, this is another wide image, so let's upload an image that's also wide. So I think we have a conference room picture somewhere here. Select, and then this one we can make it maximum width or something. If it doesn't want to do that, let's go ahead and edit this later on. All right, you can justify the center, put in the middle if we want. Okay. And then for this one, let's add another image as well. And let's go with this one. Or in fact, let's go ahead and remove this and let's add our tagline instead. Okay, design from scratch. Okay, let's save that and hopefully it'll be broken up a little bit. Alternatively, you can put it over here in the middle just so it doesn't look too boring, right? Because you do want to keep your audience's attention right there. Delete the cache and, oh, where did our paragraph go? I must have accidentally selected it and then deleted it in the process. So no worries. Let's go ahead and just duplicate this and drag and drop that into here. And this one, we can go ahead and, oops. This one we can, well, we'll go over here. And for this one, let's go ahead and delete that. And for this, let's go ahead and center this up. Okay, that's looking Good so far. Save that and see how this looks like on our live site. Okay. And last but not least, since we have all of our services, our specific areas of interest here, and some images, and you know what? Let's go ahead and let's put these up over here just to break things up. Okay. And then last but not least, let's actually add a contact area at the bottom. So container, flexbox, or much better if we just use a simple grid, top and bottom. Let's add maybe better if we didn't choose that. Let's delete this container. Let's add a container here, and we'll go with a grid of 3. And let's put on a heading on top, and we'll call this okay. And then over here, we can go ahead and add some paragraphs or lists. So for this one, let's go ahead and I would rather go ahead and change the layout here. Again, we can change the grid properties, so we can add another row if we wanted to, but it would be easier if we just deleted this and then added one in, grid by 6, and then let's add our headings here. 1, 2, 3. Phone numbers. Okay, and then we can go up to our container over here. Oh, this one probably. Flex property, grid property, and align everything to the middle. And that should be what we're looking for. And then over here, let's go ahead and add in our stylish lists here. And then you can customize these accordingly. So for instance, let's go ahead and add in our fake phone numbers over here and then over here. And we can also change the icons if we wanted to. So let's say phone, contact, right? And then emails and physical locations. Okay, let's go ahead and click on save. And let's take a look at our final site. Okay, and there you have it. We have our services page with a few different blocks from Nexter, and it makes it real simple to do all of these, right? You don't need extra coding, no need no CSS, but you have a easy to read page that explains and professionally communicates your business and what you do, right, through visual and text, as well as giving your customers the ability to either learn more about what your services and products and so on are, or to go ahead and actually buy or subscribe or purchase from you whatever it is that you're asking for. Okay. And last but not least, you're able to easily lay out your contact information just in case your customers want to go with something else or something more or a combination of whatever you are selling. So if you found this video helpful, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to our channel, as it really helps us out with the YouTube algorithm. Show this kind of video to other nerds like us. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Hey, if you want to know where to get the blocks that we used in this video to make forms real simple, real easy, check out the link in the description. It'll take you to the website of Nexter where you can get the Nexter blocks yourself. Now, if you check out the pricing, they have 3 different levels: starter, professional, and studio. We recommend getting the studio one because it's a one-time payment. It's lifetime. You get all the blocks. You don't have to worry about not having the right blocks to get what you need done. Thanks again, and we'll see you on the next one. Hey, if you found this video helpful, be sure to check out one of our other videos, or go ahead and check out our channel and subscribe to see more content like this.